Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Jaime del Valle. I'm the CMO for L'Oréal Spain, and I'm going to talk to you about what's happening in the beauty industry and how it's being disrupted. Because yes, the beauty industry is also an industry that is subject to being disrupted. Now, I haven't always worked in the beauty industry. I actually started in the auto industry, which is it's about to be truly disrupted. I started in a company called Daewoo. I don't know if you guys remember this Korean brand of cars, which was pretty mainstream. Anybody drives a Daewoo today? No? Actually, it is a company that disappeared. Daewoo doesn't exist anymore. And then before that, I actually started in mobile phones. I worked for Ericsson, and by then, Ericsson was the #1 company in the world for mobile phones. We were disputing the #1 position in the market with Nokia and Motorola. Is there anybody here who owns and uses a Nokia, Motorola, or Ericsson? No, you don't. Yes, you do. This is the first time I ask this question and somebody actually raises their hand. Anyway, point is still valid. Ericsson isn't relevant anymore as a mobile phone company. It also disappeared. The guys at HR at L'Oréal are a bit concerned because they don't really know if it's something that I do when I touch a brand or it's something that's happening organically. But the funny thing, though, as well, is that when I worked at Ericsson, I was the product manager who launched this phone. And this phone was the first phone which actually coined the word smartphone. This was the first time that a company called a phone smartphone. And funnily enough, the advertising campaign for the launch of this product was the corporate downsizer. It was supposed to, in the companies where they were going to be using these phones, there were going to be some people who were going to, kind of be made redundant. Now, the funny thing is that the actual company that they got downsized was the actual Ericsson. Ericsson doesn't exist anymore. So it was another of those industries that have been truly disrupted. But now I'm at L'Oréal. And every time I talk about disruption in the beauty industry, some people might think, well, we sell lipsticks and shampoo. How disruptive can anybody be? Well, what I've seen is that there's no bigger company to not run the risk of being disrupted by new players. And that's exactly what my team does in Spain, and the global digital transformation team, is making sure that we are best equipped to be the ones that actually disrupt the beauty industry and not allow new players to do that for us. So pretty much everybody knows L'Oréal. Maybe you don't know all the brands that belong to the group, but we've been leaders in the beauty industry for over 100 years. And the reason why we've done this, why we've been leaders for the last 100 years, is because we have developed very key strategic and competitive advantages, because we've known how to play this game, this beauty industry game, very well, and we've played our competitive advantages. Now, the thing is that we're living in a time where those competitive advantages are not valid anymore. We're seeing new players that are disrupting because they know how to play the new game. The rules have changed, and there's new players that know how to play this new game, and they are the ones who are going to develop the new competitive advantages. So what are those three big things that we've built, those competitive advantages that we've built our leadership on for the last 100 years? First is our ability to build really strong brands. We have 34 of the best beauty brands in the world. Now, how do you build brands in the old school, in the old business model, with the old game rules? Well, basically, it was a matter of media budgets. So your competitive advantage was building big media budgets so you can shout louder than anybody else that your brands were the strongest of the market. Now, what we're seeing is that the rules of that game, of the brand building game, are changing, and we're seeing new brands that are coming up that are disrupting the industry, which don't invest a single dollar or euro in advertising. These are what we call the digital native brands, and these are brands that are eating a little bit of our lunch every single year, and we're seeing that their business model for building those brands is extremely organic, no single media investment. So now it's not a matter of investing more media budget than anybody else, that you can still build very strong brands without doing that. We see brands that are born from communities or from celebrities or influencers that take their revenue through the roof in very, very short time of period. So And these are not brands that are going to be, short-lived. We're seeing big investments and big acquisitions. These are brands that were natively born, that have been acquired, with figures that you might be more used to when it comes to the tech industry. So we're seeing how some of these brands are becoming the new tech, and some of these acquisitions are big numbers. So that's why, this first competitive advantage that we've been enjoying for 100 years is not enough. It's necessary, but it's not enough, and this is how it's being disrupted. Now, the second competitive advantage is our ability to develop the best beauty products. We have been investing in R&D for many, many years, and we do have the best beauty products in the industry, and that's why we've been leading this industry for so long. Now, what happens now is that the definition of what a beauty product is exploded, and it's not just about the physical attributes of a product, a lipstick or a shampoo. It's also the services that surround that product. Services like, how do I find out about this product? How do I understand how this product is used? How can I try this product? How can I buy this product? How can I replace this product when it's done? How can I rate this product if I like? So all these things are part of the new definition of what a beauty product is. One of the things that L'Oréal is doing, so we've been acquiring beauty brands for many, many years. The last acquisition of the group is the first time it's not a beauty brand, it's a technology company, which is called Modiface. And it's not just a gimmick that we've just bought a technology for the sake of it. It's a declaration of what is the definition of a beauty product for us. So what this technology does is, through image recognition and artificial intelligence, allows you with augmented reality to be able to test beauty products on yourself. The application for makeup is pretty obvious, but we're also innovating in how to use artificial intelligence and neural networks to improve that experience. Because at the end of the day, it's that experience that will be the new product. Or things like developing devices and sensors that accompany you in the usage of a product. If we have two sunscreens, in this case La Roche-Posay, which is one of the brands that we own, if you have two exact same products with the same attributes, same formulation, would you rather buy one product that you can use, or you buy the product with the experience of, in this case, is a sensor that will monitor the exposure that you have to sun rays and will measure the risk of some sun diseases, sun skin diseases based on the exposure. So at the end of the day, it's really about the product being the entire experience, even if it includes, not necessarily just the product, but a sensor or a device. So we're going to be seeing many more developments in terms of services, devices, and sensors as well in the beauty industry. And that is because, at the end of the day, the consumer wants personalization. And the beauty industry has been typically a mass industry. But what we're seeing now as well is that with sensors, we can take a diagnosis of skin, hair, whatever it is, and then assemble the final product on the spot. This is an example of a foundation. One of the key reasons to buy a foundation is that you find the tone that matches your skin tone. And the way that brands like Lancôme has done that in the past is that we produce as many tones as possible so you can find easily the one that matches your own skin tone. Now, that obviously has an impact in the business model, which is producing lots of different foundation tones, shipping them, storing them, replacing them, selling them, etc. So it's extremely inefficient. What we're doing now is with sensor technology, we assemble the final product on the spot so that the only thing that we ship, produce, etc. is the raw ingredient, so to speak, and then the final product is assembled there. It is a premium experience for a brand like Lancôme, but that's because the technology is still not developed to scale. But we see that it'll happen just like with 3D printing, where 5 years ago it was reserved for they were very expensive and they were very bulky, but now for $200 you can have a MakerBot in your house. This is probably what will happen as well with this type of technology, and we'll start seeing that in other products, not just luxury skincare in luxury retailers. We also, what happens as well with the disruption of what the product is that we're seeing that the competitor set of L'Oréal is now is now broader. It's not just the other groups or brands or companies who produced as well beauty products, but suddenly people like this. This is Mink. It's a 3D printer for makeup. So is this a competitor? Is this a platform? If every single bathroom would have one of these printers, what would the business model for L'Oreal be? Would we suddenly be, instead of selling lipstick, would we sell formulas? Would we email formulas? Will we sell raw materials, maybe? I don't know, but this is something we definitely need to understand because our competitive set is suddenly completely wide open. And the third big competitive advantage that we've been enjoying for a long time is big agreements with distribution channels. You know, big brands, big groups having distribution channel agreements with the likes of Carrefour or Sephora, and that's how we ensure that our products would reach the consumer. Now, what happens as well with technology now is that you don't need those big agreements with distribution channels, distribution partners, but there's these brands and these newcomers and new players that are developing their own direct channels. Most obviously are, you know, selling online. I mean, you can easily, as a digital native brand, you can easily build a digital brand without big media budgets. You can easily distribute your production resources and have access to production of beauty products everywhere in the world without having to have big R&D centers. And then you can sell those products through e-commerce, through social networks. You don't need anymore those big distribution agreements. But it's not just selling online. It's as well how to use technology to make the purchase moment more ubiquitous. This is a pilot that we did in the New York subway, where you know, in the likes of a vending machine, you could actually buy makeup on the go. It's not just a vending machine. There's also image recognition, so the machine would recommend based on how you were dressed, what type of makeup would you be able or recommended to buy. We're seeing as well technology that is being embedded in routines, being embedded in our day-to-day life, like connected mirrors, where, you know, apart from the classical function of a mirror, it also helps you, well, try makeup on, and with some touch screens, you can even interact, see content on how to apply the makeup or achieve a look, and then why not even buy. So you don't even need to even open your computer or your mobile phone to purchase, but it's already embedded through technology in your day-to-day life. This is also happening for not just beauty products, but also beauty services. We're seeing platforms like this one, this is just an example, but there's plenty, that are Uberizing basically the beauty services. So they're putting in contact demand and offer, and what they're doing is monetizing idle time of professionals and consumers who need a specific service in a specific time and place. They put them together, they connect them, and the service happens. So in this sort of platform economy, what is the role of a brand like L'Oreal? Are we the platform suppliers? Are we participating in these platforms? What is the role of a hairdresser? What is the role of the salon? So this is all being disrupted, and we need to really understand how to play this. But also, what we're seeing is disruption even in interaction between consumers and brands or professionals. I'm going to show you a real case. This is a real demo of Google Assistant booking a haircut appointment at a beauty salon.
Let's say you want to ask Google to make you a haircut appointment. So what you're going to hear is the Google Assistant actually calling a real salon to schedule the appointment for you.
So how can I help you?
Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd.
Sure, give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, what time are you looking for around?
At 12 p.m.
We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The closest we have to that is a 1:15.
Do you have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.?
Depending on what service she would like, what service is she looking for?
Just a woman's haircut for now.
Okay, we have a 10 o'clock.
10 a.m. is fine.
Okay, what's her first name?
The first name is Lisa.
Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Great. Have a great day. Bye.
Example. And so this is obviously disrupting as well the interaction between consumers and professionals. Actually, I showed this video at a group of hairdressers, and the room immediately divided in two groups. Those hairdressers who thought, I mean, I'm going to go out of business. What's going to happen? This is terrible. And then there was the other group of hairdressers who thought, well, what if the voice assistant is not the customer, but it's actually me responding to the calls? Then I don't need somebody just booking services, and I can have them performing services. So it's really a matter of how do you understand technology and how it's going to disrupt and taking into advantage. Voice is definitely one of the key disruptors in our industry, not just from what you saw, but what's going to happen when you ask your voice assistant for a recommendation on makeup, you know. So how are brands going to work with voice assistants for those sorts of purchases? So now, what I think is that you know, what happened with Daewoo and with Ericsson is not really something related to me, because what I see is that L'Oreal is really taking a position to make sure that it is us who disrupt the industry and not wait for somebody else. And how we're doing it? Well, we're actually building brands now in a way that we do not depend that much on paid media budgets. By the way, we actually have brands like NYX, which is a professional makeup brand, and we don't spend a single dollar in media, and it's one of the strongest brands that we have in the group. So that's one of the things that we're doing to make sure that we develop the new set of competitive advantages. We are, as you saw, investing in beauty tech, so that it's not just the innovation in the product, but also investing in the development of digital services, and we are embarking in as well developing those direct channels to make our products reach the consumer. But the true competitive advantage that L'Oreal has that no other group has, whether it's a big group like Procter or LVMH, or any native digital brand, the small ones that you saw at the beginning, is consumer data. We are the only group with the ability to capture the data of the beauty consumer in the entire scope, meaning buying from mass market shampoos in Carrefour all the way to what you're buying in a pharmacy. So that is exactly why we believe that it's going to be us, the player that who truly disrupts the industry, and not any other. With that, I hope you've found some of the answers to what can happen in not just beauty industry, but any FMCG consumer FMCG industries, and I hope you've enjoyed. So thank you very much for the attention.